Hi there, this is the E4 instructional video on how to construct a system. If you have been assigned making a manual or something like that, this is the video that will hopefully show you some of the different steps in how to do that. It's actually fairly simple. We're starting to make multimedia manuals, which sounds incredibly complicated, but it's actually pretty simple. What it is it is a series of video notes that accompany 10-minute videos. And usually you have 8 to 10 videos that go through an entire job and break it down into doable steps. So pretty much what we're doing is we're going at each department and we're taking each job within that department and we're defining it. We're saying this is the way we do this, this is the way we do that, and we take videos of that and we write notes about it. It's fairly simple, like I said. Let me show you some examples of what exactly we want you to end up with. When you're done with this entire system, what you're going to end up with is this. Pretty simple. It's an index and content guide. Now obviously there's going to be more behind it, but this is going to be the final product. So we have, as you can see in the file acquisition, we have 8 videos, a future videos, and a changes and notes section. For each of these, we not only have the link to the YouTube video that will instruct you through this entire step, but we also have hyperlinked to this a document that's pretty much just the notes to the video. So if in the video, number 1 video for file acquisition is research. So I go through that step and I break it down into sub-steps. There are 4 of these. It's very simple actually when you break it down into those sub-steps. Conference call with FA editors, go to the library, go to these sites, enter author and book research into the spreadsheet. Now obviously I've gone through it to a much greater extent in the 10-minute video that accompanies this. And if you go back here to the index, you could click on this, click on the video notes, and you would have a full 10-minute training on research. Usually it's the overview. Sometimes one section will have several different videos because it will be much more complicated than that. As you can see, that happened down here in the editing portion. We had to have 2 different videos because there was just too much to talk about. So when you are assigned a manual or making a system, what you're going to do is the very first step that's going to happen is you are going to gather all of the notes, manuals, any information that you have on your job. So say you were head proofer or something like that. What you're going to do is you're going to go back through your old email and you're going to find any instructional emails that were sent to you by your supervisor. You're going to find any manuals that were sent to you by your supervisor. You're going to find any manuals that you made, because several of you have made manuals like this. And so you just want to go and gather everything. So normally when I assign a manual, the first step, and the only one that you have to worry about until I contact you again, is gathering information. That's number 1 step. Oftentimes we have a lot more information than we think. So make sure that you look thoroughly through all of the systems. Look through your documents, look through Dropbox if that's where you store things, look through your email, all of that, okay? So just find all of the information that you can. And then step 2 is making an outline. Now what you're doing is you're making the preliminary to this one right here, the X. Okay, so when I first did this, what I wanted to do is I wanted to go through the information that I had in my mind. File acquisition A to Z. What happens in file acquisition? And then what I did is I said, so how can I break that up into 10-minute chunks? I didn't know how many videos I was going to need. I didn't know how many steps. Pretty much a video corresponds to a step, a major step. So what you have to first do is you have to go through and you have to figure out how many videos you think you need. Now I am perfectly happy to go through this with you. With most of you, that's probably the best thing, is to just simply have a meeting, and if you gather the information first, we can do step 2 together. So as long as you have the information, we'll go through and we'll break down each step, each job into these steps. So when I broke down file acquisition, I was like, well, I need to do research, file acquisition A and B, because there are 2 different sections. I needed an overview and a file saving. Definitely need copyrights, definitely need organizational documents. Editing was a big one. That had to be one of, like I said, 2 videos for that one. A guide to tagging, which is still a future video, and a summary and checklist. So in step 2, you would go through with me what you think those steps are. Now obviously in the process, when you actually get into making these videos, then it's going to change. You may notice, oh, I really need 2 videos here, I can't do this in one. But this is just an overview. This is just an outline to show you how many videos you need to make.